What's good, guys? Your boy, Mr. Old School Ryder. Come back at you one more again on the Ryder's Book Club Season 2, Episode number 3. I have the old man himself. I have Mumai Obsidian Ali. I know I might have butchered it up. I do apologize. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. My name is Mumia Obsidian Ali.
I always get that wrong for some reason, man. Is that Islamic? A Muslim? Is that correct?
Yeah, partly. Yeah. And it takes a little bit of practice. That's all.
Yeah, I'm going to have to practice on that a little bit more. We do appreciate you for coming on the Ryder's Book Club, of course. So tell us about yourself for a little bit, sir.
Well, I've been doing this for quite some time, and this being the whole I guess you could say I'm a co-founder of the Black Manosphere, and that is a sector of the internet, social media, I guess you could say. And I've been it's part of what I guess you could say Black men, what we want to talk about and things that are important to us. So I wound up being like a co-founder of that about 6-7 years ago. And I've been podcasting and writing and all that ever since. So that's how it all got started. And before that, I was a long time skilled blue collar tradesman. Did it for 22 years right out of high school, and my career started when my career ended, and ended kind of suddenly, and that's when I got started. And never look back.
Oh, wow. I'm a blue collar guy myself as well. I've been doing it forever, of course. At the current job, 7 years, of course, as a blue collar person, as a mechanic. We do appreciate my blue collar brothers as well, along with the white. The blue collar pretty much hold it down for everybody else, by the way. So, Obsidian, tell us about the book that you just came out with early this year. That's early this year, correct?
Yep. It's
which I
called.
do have a digital,
You
which I
got a
do
digital
have a digital
download?
copy as well. But I'm
Right.
probably, most likely, I am going to be buying the physical copy. I like it in my hand here soon as well.
Right.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Tell
no,
us
that's fine.
about your book, sir.
Yeah, the book is called The Book of Obsidian, and it's a dating and mating book for black men. It's the subtitle is a manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman, and it got its start by me just get kind of being fed up with the state of things. Um, you get all these various coaches and experts and stuff like that, but it seems that even though the black love machine, as I call it, gets bigger and bigger, the divide between black men and black women also gets bigger and bigger. So I just got kind of tired of the whole spectacle and decided to do something about it. So that's how the book came about.
Oh yeah, I gotta say, indeed, it's up there, man. I got to give it to you on that. I know you've been talking about the book for a very long time. There was a lot of doubters out there, like, hey, he ain't gonna come out with this book. He's just talking. When you came out with the book, you got them to shut the fuck up, pretty much. Pretty much is a talk of the town right now, really, to be real about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
You did a lot of research on this. I got to give it to you on that. You just didn't just throw something out there. You actually you also cited your sources as well. That's what I like when people write stuff. You
yeah,
cite your sources instead of just copy and paste and not giving someone their props.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did a lot of research into the book. It took let me see, it took me 6 months to write it, and I guess it took me another at least 6 months to a year of research. Well, let me see. I got started. Yeah, I got started in June of 2019, and I wrapped up in February of 2020. So you're looking at about 9 months of research and writing. So yeah, and I did that on purpose because I wanted people to know that what I was talking about just wasn't a bunch of just my opinions and stuff like that, but there's actual research for this stuff. So that's the reason why I did it.
Oh yes, sir. That is correct. I'm pretty much gonna be coming out with my books one of these days. I gotta pretty much put my scraps together. Like you said before, they research and putting everything together do take a little bit of time. You just can't slap it together. This is like your heart and soul into this.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that everything the gamble kind of played off and paid off rather. And I continue on with doing my thing. And but as a matter of fact, right now as we speak, I'm working on my second book, which is a book for the lovely ladies. So I'm writing it as we speak, and I hope to have it done by the end of the year or the first week or so of January, so it can be ready to rock and roll for a Valentine's Day weekend release. So wish me luck.
Oh yeah, since you released it earlier this year, your book actually came at a perfect time because we're still in the pretty much the atmosphere of the pandemic or whatnot.
Yeah.
A lot of people had to pretty much sit down and kind of reevaluate themselves a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it actually worked out for you many ways in one, you know?
Yeah. I tell you the pandemic happening in the spring of last year really kind of threw me for a loop. I thought that it was going to be. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a disaster. So I held back on putting out the book because I had planned to do a whole book tour and everything. But after the pandemic came down, I just scuttled all of it, and then decided to go ahead and run with it earlier this year. Um, Even though we were still in a pandemic, I decided to go ahead and take a gamble, and I'm glad that I did because it all worked out. And like you said, like everybody, I had a captive audience, so um, yeah, we're hoping we can catch lightning in a bottle twice with the second book. Hello, is anybody there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I thought I was talking. Yeah, like I was. Oh, sorry about that. Basically, you caught lightning in a bottle, which is a good thing. You back your work up. It just wasn't putting something together. But I got to give it to you, Nate, and also Theo. You guys put a great event there in a couple of weeks ago in Atlanta.
Yeah, the Black Manosphere Meetup. It was really big, and I'm very glad to be a part of it. It started out as a IT event, information technology event, but some other brothers got involved, most notably Lil Big Nate, and turned it into a more, I guess you could say, black men's event. I guess you could say, with the Black Manosphere, I guess you could say, talking points and Party Faithful being behind it. And I'm so glad that it all came off as a big success, because that's exactly what it became. And matter of fact, it was such a big success earlier this month that a second Black Manosphere meetup is being planned right now for Houston next year. So really excited about it.
Oh, my home state in Texas. Okay, that'll work, man. Hopefully, I'll make it there. On my little Texas visit. But yeah, even though I didn't make it to the event all the way, I had to run to Dallas real quick, but I did make it towards the end. It was a pretty a great gathering of guys, great minds kind of came together, as one for pretty much for a common goal, or
Yeah.
empowering all black men and technology and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for what I heard about your speech, you did great on your speech. I wasn't there to see it, but I heard great things about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find if anybody recorded it, because I wanted to post some of it up onto my social media. So I'm trying to find anybody who actually has audio of it. So we'll see.
I thought I was gonna make a real quick trip and come back. I thought I was gonna go ahead and catch it real quick, do like a photo out, but of course it just didn't work out. But hey, but we're talking right now as we speak. So when I first discovered you, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2017 on your original channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think right now you're in a better position right now than 2017. 2017, you was raw back then, but you was hitting all your points like you're supposed to. But nowadays, you pretty much a little bit more refined.
Yeah. I didn't have as much practice back then as I do now, and yeah, I'm in a much better place today than I was back 4 years ago, and hopefully 4 years from now I'll be in an even better place again. So we'll see. But yeah, 2017 was a very interesting year. Very interesting. And
oh yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you was raw back then. I thought you was somebody else when I first heard you. I'm like, I don't know if people tell you this a lot, but I thought it was David Carroll at first talking. I'm like, damn. Then I looked up, I'm like, oh.
Why did you think I was David Carroll?
No, the diction, the way that you talk sometimes. I got, I was driving, I was listening. I'm like, dang, who is this guy? That sound like David Carroll for a second. I'm like, no, that can't be him.
Right.
Then I kind of look, I'm like, oh man, that's Obsidian Network. I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
Man, ever since then, I've been, subscribed to all your channels ever since then.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think the thing about the Black Manosphere that's great about it is that a lot of guys are thinking the same thing, and we're all kind of coming from various points of the country, and but we're all kind of on the same page. I think that's one of the great things about it. Black Manosphere gets a lot of bad press. That's something that we need to work on. But yeah, that's definitely one of the high points of it.
But the most part, even though it might get bad press, but most of it is good stuff. I mean, you can't take that away, I mean, especially, you and O'Shea, you got O'Shea, y'all doing y'all thing over there, also with the emergence, Kevin, within the last couple of years, this pretty much this, It solidifies you guys.
Yeah,
It's not a fad. It's a real deal. This is not a fad at all.
yeah, I agree. It's definitely something that has galvanized us, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's something that we need to work together with. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Also, I noticed you also a big time music person as well. For what I'm understanding, you used to be a DJ back in the day. Then, correct?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I saw Grandmaster Flash in a movie called Wild Style. And then after that, I saw another guy named Grand Mixer DST with Herbie Hancock on a song called Rocket. And those two guys, I got the bug for turntablism from those two, and I never looked back. So yeah.
Yeah, I like pretty much how you mix your shows. You do your commentary, you got your monologue, then you put your music in there. You blend it just like a real radio show, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
easy listening, pretty much.
Yeah. Had the opportunity to be around a lot of DJs and radio personalities and DJs doing block parties and all kind of stuff. So I kind of picked up bits and pieces from a lot of different people and kind of mashed it all up into my own kind of style. So, and I'm still working on it, all these years later, still working on it, but having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, music don't get away from you. It's still going to be there. You just gotta keep working at it, which you're already doing anyway. But I know in 2022 is going to be a monster year, pretty much for everybody. That's putting the work into it, of course.
Yeah, I agree with that. We got to keep working at it, and the great thing about being a DJ is that there's no age limit. So as long as you're healthy and got your faculties, you can keep on spinning. You can be like Yoda spinning. 900 years old. I mean, that's the great thing about being a DJ. There's no, Grandmaster Flash is into his 60s, and DJ Jazzy Jeff and Cash Money ain't far behind, and they're still going strong. So that's one of the great things about it.
Yeah, music keep you young, pretty much.
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right. Also, tell us about the weight loss journey that you recently had. I know you pretty much was walking with a cane for a while, and you was telling us you got a trainer.
Yeah, it wasn't weight loss so much as it was just trying to strengthen parts of my body that had been kind of jacked up. I had a career-ending back injury about 12 years ago, and I had just turned 40, and like a few months later, I was out of a job because my career came to an end because of a major back injury. And that's really what it was all about. It wasn't about losing weight so much as it was about strengthening up, my back and my core. So, but I will say this, that cutting meat out of your diet will, slim you down. So that's what happened.
You're most definitely right about that. So what you do for protein since you're not eating meat like that?
I eat vegetables and all that stuff, but the main thing I do for protein, I'm not no hardcore vegan. Couldn't do that. I do take in some seafood here and there, but for protein. But that's pretty much about it. Seafood and vegetables. That's it.
Okay, hey, that'll work right there. I remember when you first. I think recently when you went to the I'm trying to think of that guy named Ace Metaphor event, we finally saw your your progress. I'm like, dang, he slimmed down.
Yeah, now that was part of me being flat on my back, ill too. That I had a major how do I put it? A major relapse from back injuries, and that happens from time to time. And you don't tend to eat when you're in a whole lot of pain. So I was like that for about 3 months, and that's another reason why I shed a lot of pounds. But yeah. In even when I'm feeling great, just cutting the meat out of the diet, you tend to lose a lot of weight when you do that.
I might have to give that a try, of course, but I love them steaks, man. and potatoes, unfortunately.
It's kind of hard for you Southerners to make that work because that's part of the culture is the steaks and the barbecue and that sort of thing. So
Yeah, I don't eat barbecue like I used to ever since I moved to Atlanta, man. It just the barbecue. I just can't get the barbecue right up here for some reason. Whenever I go home,
right,
I might eat at my favorite places, but I mean, I think I'll phase out of barbecue for some reason. I don't have a desire to eat it no more for some reason.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I've had some barbecue and don't miss it. It would do a job on my stomach in any event. So I'm glad that I don't mess with it anymore. But I do understand that it's very much a Southern thing and especially a Texas thing. So
You're right about that. We got the real barbecue down here. Don't listen to what Memphis and Chicago be telling you about. We got the real barbecue down here.
Yeah.
Of course, but
yeah.
Hey, other than that, we're just gonna go over a few more questions here real quick. So compare 2017 to right now. What you think of it? What you'll give and take out of it?
Say that again.
What'd you take away from? What would you compare 2017 to right now, Obsidian?
More money.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That will be the single biggest difference. A lot more money. So, which I like a lot.
So this ended up pretty much being perfect timing on your end, man. We just hopefully we know it's going to keep on going, and whenever the Houston event comes around, as long as nothing don't happen, I should be there in Houston, of course.
Right.
Are you guys planning on? I mean, I know you can't let the cat out the bag or anything like that. Is this going to be like a once a year type of deal, or y'all going to maybe do like a couple times a year?
I have no idea. Sometimes I'm not in the loop on the specifics, and sometimes I am. But as it looks right now, it looks like an annual event. But anything is possible. We'll see.
Yeah, you had great reviews in Atlanta. I got to give it to you on that one. I mean, Vegas will be another good one as well. By the way, if y'all doing it multiple times a year, but Houston is actually perfect next year.
Yeah,
whenever it's going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely. Theo is in Austin, I believe. So Houston is not that far out. So that's the reason why we're going there this time around. We're going back to because Theo is in your home state as well, in the Lone Star State, and it'll be interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for me because I've never been. So it'll be interesting to journey to the Lone Star State. That'll be very interesting.
Oh, you'll like it very much. The environment it'll be perfect for you.
Ah, okay.
To your liking, of course.
Yeah. Houston's a very black city, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's pretty much similar to Atlanta, but it's a little bit more slowed down and a little bit wider. But it's one of them destination spots. People go from Atlanta, Vegas, Houston, LA. They just kind of bounce around those little similar areas.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, but
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we pretty much the halfway point of the show right now. So, since this is a car channel, what was your first car that you own, Obsidian, and why?
My very first car was a 1975 Buick Electra 225, or as the old heads would call it, a deuce and a quarter. And the reason why was because my dad took me. I was like 18, I think. My dad took me to a used car lot in Kensington. That's a section in here in Philly. And found that big old bad boy. And I ended up $495 hard-earned dollars for it and never looked back. To this day, it's my favorite car.
Oh, wow. That's a big one right there.
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to drive something like that in a smaller area nowadays. It's pretty hard to do that, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So I know you're in Philadelphia. I know the area is. I know the space is kind of tight. Is it mostly like mass transportation up there? Do people drive mostly?
It's both. It's both. So it's both. Because you have SEPTA here, that's the mass transit system, but at the same time you also have a lot of people that like to drive, so it's a little bit of both.
Oh yeah, that'll work. You guys also next to New York, if I'm not mistaken, a bunch of other states and stuff. I guess it'll be easy to go in and out then, right?
Oh yeah, it's nowhere near as busy as New York, but it's definitely busier than most southern cities. That's for sure. So it's right in the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's one of the areas I want to travel to one day. Just go to Philly for a little bit and visit and come out on my way to New York, of course. But also the Manosphere, pretty much, I know you were like one of the founders of it. Pretty much is all, how can I say this? It's kind of like your brainchild to a certain extent. Is that correct? Or I'm kind of off on that?
What was that again?
The Manosphere, as it is right now for the brothers. Is it kind of like the brainchild of you to a certain extent?
Yeah, to a certain extent it is, but it's something that me, O'Shea, and Angry Man kind of co-founded because we all kind of came, kind of converged on one point from different, areas of the country thinking the same things. So yeah, that's how it kind of happened.
Yeah, it was some classic days back there, man. It was a great idea, man. I'm glad the way it is right now. I know some people not around anymore, but man, pretty much it's for the best to a certain extent,
Right.
Like you said here recently, some people got it. I don't like talking like this, but I know recently you're saying some people gonna have to, move on pretty much. Or you guys had to move on from them or whatnot, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm loving it. This is great.
Oh yeah, you're right about that as well. So so she took a little time to write the book. What do you suggest for a person writing their first book? What were the steps would they take to do it and how to go about it for them?
Be willing to subject yourself to a lot of pain and strife and tears.
Oh, tears?
Yeah, because being a writer is not an easy thing. And you have to really want to do it in order to do it.
Yeah, you gotta be pretty much motivated with that. I mean, I guess it's one of my pitfalls. I mean, I have like a couple notebooks worth of stuff. I just got to put it together. Sometimes you're just not motivated to do it,
Right.
When you get like writer's block, or you might get stuck on something. You're like, you know what? I'll come back later. So since you,
I didn't suffer from writer's block. That wasn't the thing for me. Although that could happen for other people. I rarely suffer from writer's block. That might have happened maybe once or twice in 12 years of writing. I guess I always have something to say, but that's never been the issue. The issue for me is going through all the rigmarole of writing. Writing a book. But actually, doing the writing itself has never been a problem.
Man, that's some good advice right there. I like that. Yeah. So I guess since everything is going to be opening back up now, so you think you're going to be doing a book tour for the second book, or you're not sure about that yet?
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it, as a matter of fact. Definitely.
And hopefully we'll see you back in Atlanta again, on your tour.
I'm certainly looking forward to that too.
Yes, sir. You stayed out here, you pretty much down here for like a week then, right?
Yeah, I was there from December 1st to the 5th.
Man. Oh yeah, I know y'all loving Atlanta, man. But yeah, we will see y'all guys back here for everything else. But so we got a few more questions before we go, of course, to singing.
Yeah.
What would you suggest for someone want to create social media content for themselves? What would be your suggestions for that?
Well, what I would say is that well, first of all, you got to have a really good message. You have to be consistent with your message, and you have to do it a lot. That's what I would say.
So you pretty much need to be consistent there.
Yeah.
You just can't go out there and just throw the camera on and expect something to happen. You got to put some thought into it, and also you got to put the work and consistency into it as well.
Yeah, you definitely have to think it through. No doubt about it.
I mean, nowadays social media is actually a business as well. I mean, I used to treat it like a hobby, but recently I'm putting it all together to make it like pretty much I'm putting into a business pretty much.
Yeah.
In order to monetize it.
Right.
That's pretty much what it's about. You're spending time on here anyway. You might as well make some money off of it.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
All right. Let's see. We're getting close to the end right now. Once we get off here, old man, I'm gonna talk to you for like a few minutes. Don't hang up, of course.
Yeah.
But what are your final thoughts at this time?
I want to thank you and everybody for having me on, and we'll have to do it again sometime. I really appreciate it.
We do appreciate you for coming through, old man. One of the hitters in the Black Manuscript, of course. All right. This is Mr. Old School Ryder on the Ryder's Book Club. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, of course. You see this thing on the screen, of course. Also subscribe to the old man as well. He have a few channels, and also you're on Instagram as well, correct?
Yeah, Obsidian Radio. That's where my Instagram is, at Obsidian Radio.
And what about the Twitter? What's that one? Tell them that one too.
At Obsidian Files, FILES, all one word. At Obsidian Files.
There you go. And by the way, this is Mr. Old School Ryder once again. We do appreciate everybody for coming through, watching the channel. Oh man, I'll be right back. Stay right there.
All right.
Thank you. 1 second. Don't hang up. Hang on.